Hello everyone, it's Jen, and today I want to show you some absolutely stunning artwork made with the Perfectly Pears stamp set, and it's actually called the Painterly Pears suite. So before I show you the artwork and kind of like really dive in and show you all the amazing things that are happening here, I want to bring in my iPad here and show you where you can find this stuff, because this is all part of the online exclusives that just launched in July. So if you're on my website, you're going to go to the three little lines here, and then you can shop online exclusives right here. And then one of the very first things you're going to see is the Painterly Pears Suite collection. So I'm going to click on that. And this is the whole suite. So it has all of the goodies. It's got the paper, the embellishment, the ribbon, the stamp, and the die bundle. Okay, so let's take a look at the stamp set. I'm going to show you that. Actually, here, I have the stamp set here. So that's the stamp set. And then those are the dies. My iPad has not been backed up. Haha. Those are the dies, which are absolutely amazing. Like this little, I don't know, I call it like a picket fence, is so cool. And then the leaves are really spectacular too. So there's the die again. We have the DSP. Oops, make sure I'm in the screen there. Here's the DSP, and I can show you that as well. And then this is a green and gold ribbon, which is just beautiful, so sparkly. These are low profile sparkle dots in blue, green, and yellow. And then there is our little artwork collection there. So this is the Painterly Pears suite. If we go back to this online exclusives area, you'll be able to see all the online exclusives, but you'll be able to order like just the stamp set or the embellishments and so on. But also if you're in the suite, let me go back here, it says product bundle includes, and then it lists all the individual items. So if you were just interested in like the DSP, you could find it by just tapping on the DSP right there, and it'll bring you to like the whole thing. Okay, so that's where you're gonna find this on my website. So let's take a look at this artwork. Now this artwork did not use the Painterly Pears DSP. It did, however, use, oh, and I'm going to show you one more thing. I gotta find it. One more thing in that in the collection that we used here. But we did use some, these are the In Colors Darling Duckling and Cloud Cover. We did use the In Colors 6x6 DSP that is available. It's in the catalog. So we used that. And then we used stamps, dies, markers, embossing folders, and then this is a die called Textured Notes. I think it's called the Textured Notes dies, but it has rectangles, and they have like all kinds of different stitching and patterns on them. We use this stamp here, elements of text. Like there's just so much going on. So let's talk about this first card. This first card here is, it's kind of like the white on white. It's just a really stunning card. We took a piece of white cardstock and we embossed it. This is the Glass Gardens embossing folder. So that's what I wanted to find here on my iPad and show you. It's part of a different suite. So I'm just going to type it in here. Glass. It's currently unavailable. How awful is that? Okay, it's called Glass Gardens. But what I wanted to show you is that the embossing folders have two patterns. Oops, let's go back. Okay, two patterns. So we have this like almost like a leaded glass window, I guess you could say, but it also kind of cuts off. So if you turn it this way, the iPad will change if I turn it too far. It almost looks like a Halloween type fence, right? Really, really cool. And then this one here is just a floral, but it's only like in the center, and these embossing folders are no, they're not even that big. They are, they're 3 3/8 by 6 1/4. So they're going to emboss like a 3 1/2 by 6 piece of paper. Okay, so it's kind of narrow, but it gets like real great impact. So here is the glass part of the Glass and Gardens right here, embossed. And then we tore some of the cardstock. We used all the dies. So we used that little like picket fence looking one. You can see how amazing that looks. We took the leaf branch die and then we colored it with markers and it looks spectacular. This little floral thing is a die in the set, and so we put those on there. We stamped and then colored in with markers the pears. So we stamped the pears with, here's the stamp set. So we stamped the outline and then we stamped the inside with, I believe it's lemon lime twist. And then we took a bunch of markers and we did like a pointillism type thing where we just dot, 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 kind of everywhere to give it that texture. And it looks really stunning and spectacular. So this is the first card. Isn't that gorgeous? And then here's the next card. The sentiments here are from Messages and More. So I'll pull that one up because this one is kind of a sleeper item as well. I'll pull that one up on the iPad to show you. Sorry, it's called More Messages. But it cuts these like fun shapes, and then you can use any stamps in them, or you can use the stamps that come in the set. So this card, we embossed the full card front. So how I did that is I ran a piece through and embossed one side, and then I kind of turned it over and embossed the other side. And in the middle where like where the embossing would meet, or where that glass kind of cuts off, you know, like that glass edge cuts off, is pretty much covered. So you can't really see that. We use the cloud cover DSP from the In Color 6x6. Again, more of that textured notes rectangles, just gives it a little bit of texture there. And then this piece is stamped with that Elements of Text stamp set. Again, we're stamping and die cutting and using all the bits and pieces. So there's that little fence in there. The little leaf thing is really cool, and then cut apart to just kind of like shove it, tuck it, you know, in different places. And then baker's twine. We sell a set of baker's twine that is white, black, gray, and tan. So there's 4 colors in the pack. Actually, it's right here. Except there might be 5 colors in the pack. I think there's only 4. I think it might come like this. And then this is linen thread. It might come like that. But does it say how many? It doesn't say how many. I'll have to look it up. But this pack is awesome. I used a ton of the white, and then we used linen too. But super stunning card. So here's the third card. Again, the full front is embossed. We use that Elements of Text stamp set again, just to give some, you know, color and texture. A lot of white on white with, you know, the leaves and the little fences, but just so pretty. And these little flowers are, you know, they're tiny and they're not like that easy to work with, but, you know, die cutting all this was certainly a chore, but the result is just absolutely beautiful. So love all these cards. They're just so elevated and so pretty. Okay, again, we use the Glass Gardens embossing folder, the cloud cover DSP, the textured note rectangle, and then all of the die cut pieces with the fence and the flowers and the leaves, and then the stamping on the pears. And the stamping on the pears does give this variation where you have that like little white open in the center, and then it's darker on one side and lighter on the other. The stamp actually does that, and it's a photopolymer stamp and acrylic set. Okay, so it's clear acrylic set, and it does all of that texture like for you. So it's so spectacular, so pretty. And then this embellishment is an embellishment that is going to come out in September. So it's a little sneak peek, but it's 3 shades of blue, and they are little flowers, so super pretty. Okay, let me show you the More Messages bundle. So this is a stamp and die bundle, and the die cuts all of these shapes like this. And so there's 2 choices. You can cut all the shapes, which is what we did for these cards. We cut all the shapes and then we just stamped in them with the Perfectly Pears sentiments. Okay, but you can also stamp the sentiments, and it's one big stamp I'm gonna have to show you this sometime. It's one big stamp. You stamp all of it at once, and then the die is like this. It's one big die, and it cuts it all out at once. So you get, I don't even know, like I'd have to count how many sentiments there are here. Probably 15-ish, maybe more sentiments. And then you cut them all out, and then you have just a little pile of sentiments that you can use on your cards. It's really, really, really a great set. This one is not acrylic. It is a red rubber set. So just keep note of that. But I'm loving it, and I've used it quite a few times, and it's super, super fantastic. Okay, so now we have the layout. Tell me how gorgeous this is. So it's backed on crumb cake. And then, so it's triple layered, right? Crumb cake, and then black, and then white. We use the DSP Cloud Cover Darling Duckling. It's all the same color scheme that you just saw with the cards. This is not lemon lime. The lemon lime was too bright, so we added Granny Apple Green, and then the black, the blue, the white, like all the things. It's so pretty. We took pieces of white cardstock and embossed it with that Glass Gardens again, and then a couple of pieces of cardstock and stamped with the elements of text, I think is what it is. I'm gonna look that one up for you too, because it's a good one. But it is just, it's got all like the textural type elements that you would want to add to your projects. On this one, we used two different, I'm loving, absolutely loving the like multiple font situation for a title lately. So this one is lovely. This comes from, it's actually sitting on my desk, like surprisingly. This one comes from Sweet Blooms. I used this on a different project recently, but it cuts the outside, like the outside and the inside. This is the inside right here. So the really tiny scripty font. Then you could cut it in like a backing color, or you could stamp it. So it has three options there, but we just cut it in the skinny section right there. This is the party alphabet, which I have used on repeat, and I have done a lot of different techniques with it that you'll see in the coming weeks from me. This one was embossed with the floral part of that Glass and Gardens. So this has been like the glass part, and here's your garden. Okay, super, super pretty. We added the pears, a little bit of everywhere, and then this side here has the squares, just a really beautiful design. Again, the pears, the little fence, the little flowers, and then that leaf thing, just so fun. And now you can see all the patterns that the that 6x6 DSP comes in. So it comes in this like leaf pattern, the flower pattern, the kind of like watercolor stripe pattern, and just like a wash pattern. Okay, so it's you get two different sheets. Oh, I don't know how many sheets of each color you get, maybe 4 of each color, I'm not positive. And then you get like 2 of these and 2 of these, and then they're double-sided. Okay, so however that works, hopefully that makes sense. All right, so this is Painterly Pears. This is like your white on white, elegant, gorgeous collection here. I do have another Painterly Pears collection that I will show you, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a different video. But one last thing I was going to show you was that elements of text. Let's go text. Elements of text, I was right. Okay, so this is the element of text stamp set. It is a cling set, so a rubber set, but check that out. So it's just got like the paint splotches, and then it's got the words, and like in a long pattern, in like a little rectangular. These are more of like a typewriter font, and then in like a circular pattern. So using these on your projects in just like little areas like here, just to give it it gives it a little bit of texture, right? It just adds a little something that it needs, especially in a white space. So the little text pattern here, or if you added like little splatters, those look awesome too. But this is like a staple stamp set, so I wanted to make sure that you saw that. Elements of text. All right, this is the Perfectly Pears set that is cloud cover, Darling Duckling, Lemon Lime Twist, black and white, and beautiful and stunning. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day.